parking lot. They say an armed bystander.
That's so cool. Sit down. Welcome to Info Hell. It's me, LeVar Mordred, your host. I'm starting off the show. Later on, I'm going to have Jinx, the Roz Williams of philosophy and political talk, here with us as well. And welcome to the show. We're going to get right on to the dirty, right on to the nasty. We're going to the most hypocrisy, the most ignorant side of news in the world, the shitstorm formerly known as CNN. And you got Don Lemonhead / what the hell is it? Well, basically the CNN version of Uncle Ruckus, basically the self-hating black guy, basically, who likes to call Kanye West the N-word. So let's get on to the video, and let's get on to other things. Why is our media so divisive? Why we're so divided? The left likes to blame Trump. People who are conservatives on the right, they like to blame mostly the media. Well, mostly the media. But let's get into it. And we go to this report on this video that Don Lemon, we don't need to demonize people. Okay, just listen to this.
Demonizing people and realize the biggest terror threat in this country is white men, most of them radicalized to the right. And we have to start doing something about them. There is no travel ban on them. There is no ban on, they have the Muslim ban. There is no white guy ban. So what do we do about that?
You know, the funny thing is, in the same breath, he said, I don't want to demonize people, but demonizing a whole race of people. Cheers for you, Don Lemon, for, being a complete ass of yourself. Have a beer on me, money. But, yeah, totally, have a beer on me. Yeah. Look. This is the same guy who called Kanye West a house N-word. And he wants to sit there and say, oh, I don't want to demonize people. You're accusing a whole race of people. If I went around saying that, because there's a high crime rate in the black community, I think I might get hurt by black people. That's completely ignorant and racist. You're basically saying the exact same thing. It shows me how of a dickhead you really are. Okay, let's look through the most recent terrorist attacks recently from the actual standpoint of actual journalism. Let's look at it. Who are usually Caucasian. It wouldn't surprise me because we're the majority. I mean that makes sense. That majority of white people would be, but there's also a big difference of 13% of the population of violent crime with African Americans of inner cities. It's a messed up fact. It's like 50 by 50, and it's crazy. But also he talks about like right-wing white terrorists of white males, right? Okay. The mega pipe bomber, the guy who was sending these pipe bombs, these fake pipe bombs, these nail bombs, to all, to George Soros and Obama and, who has been in trouble before with the law before sending these pipe bombs to Clinton and all these other people. He's not white, he's not Caucasian, he's Cuban American. Just saying, it doesn't fit your narrative. I could see that, right? But he's a Trump supporter with his big, whole, huge fan. And just because he's a Trump supporter doesn't mean it's Trump's fault. Just because of Marilyn Manson is known for making controversial music, he should be blamed for Columbine. Same thing with the Beatles. The Beatles have been accused of helter-skelter in the Manson murders. Is it their fault? No. Just because some crazy lunatic decides to take somebody else's word who's a fan of, especially very political times, especially very political times, somebody's going to root for their candidate, doesn't mean every person who's a Trump supporter is like that. Doesn't mean it's Trump's fault because some crazy lunatic decided to do something completely stupid and basically risk his own freedom just to be an idiot. Just saying. And you know how, Dimebag Darrell from Pantera, the guitarist from Pantera, got shot in a live concert by a crazy possessed fan, and this crazy possessed fan had lots of pictures of Dimebag Darrell, and he was mentally insane. My question is, answer this question: was it Dimebag Darrell's fault? Just think about it. To get shot by a crazy gunman, was it his fault? And they were making really kind of grotesque, kind of insanely messed up kind of song lyrics. Just think about it. Was it his fault? No, it wasn't his fault. It wasn't his fault at all. Okay, let's get ready for this other supposed, since the media wants to sit there and say that it's because of Trump's rhetoric and what his speeches influences evil things. And you know what the thing is? The leftist authoritarian left, want to take away from his speech. Let's look into Robert Gregory, the man who, over in Pittsburgh, shot up a Jewish synagogue. And it's horrible, especially that my relatives on my dad's side are Jewish. They follow Judaism. My grandmother came from Israel. Shalom. Okay, I'm going to put this up. Okay. This piece of shit, paranoid, delusional, nut job, went into it, did these horrible things. The guy should be executed, firing squad. And he surrendered like a little punk bitch to the police. He killed 11 people, which is horrible. And in the media, with no morality, no emotions, they see a story, their eyes get bigger. It's like, oh, I'm getting a bigger paycheck now. They take this huge tragedy, and I don't see how they can sleep at night, but of course they're sociopaths. They take this and they spin it around to make it, oh, it's against Trump. It's against Trump. It's all about Trump. If you look at the guy's social media account, the guy was anti-Trump and thought Trump was a secret Jew. It's true. No, it's that Jew. It seems kind of funny that Trump was friends with the Israeli Prime Minister ever since the 1980s. Close friends. Have you ever also think about that his son-in-law was Jewish as well? So how is the man's anti-Semitic if he supports Israel? I know what you're going to say. People are criticize the Israeli government. So, that's understandable. People criticize all governments. But if somebody's anti-Semitic, they wouldn't support Israel because it's a nation full of mostly, let me give you the hint, Jews! Hello? Yeah, I'm sorry that Trump, all these white nationalists and all these neo-Nazis don't support Trump, so it doesn't fit your fake narrative. And you think I'm being divisive. You think I'm just only talking about one side. No. Trump, I like you when you lowered my taxes. I liked you when you called out the media's bullshit. I like the fact that the economy is going better. I will say that. I do agree with, stricter borders and legal immigration, not illegal immigration. But you're stupid to their level when you come out with conspiracy theories and saying, oh, the caravan is funded by George Soros. Stop saying stupid stuff. You are being just as bad as they are. And I know that I know this. You're being just as bad as divisive, and you say the Democrats are the enemy of the people. What about the Democrats who are the working class citizens who don't agree with your policies, who don't think you're racist, who don't want division, who just disagree with your viewpoint? What about them? What about them, Trump? I hate this divisive thing, not only from the right, not only from the left, but from both sides. So, the thing is, if you want to make America great again, quit being such divisive. Both sides need to stop being divisive. the worst thing is that the mainstream left, the extremist left, that they're getting worse and worse and worse. They're coming to the point they're coming almost terroristic. If you don't believe me, listen to what they say too. Listen to what their own words, what they say. Talk is cheap out of my mouth, but proof is in the pudding, my friend.
It's a political party that wants to destroy what you stand for, what you care about. That's why I believe if we are fortunate enough to win back the House and or the Senate, that's when civility can start again.
Make sure we show up wherever we have to show up. And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome.
The satanic Jews that control everything and mostly everybody. If they are your enemy, then you must.
This is what I'm talking about. Clinton says you don't need civility, that basically, that if people disagree with you, they're trying to destroy you. This paranoid ideology that she brings on is divisive. And Maxine Waters said, hey, go and harass people that you disagree with. And Louis Farrakhan, best friends with Barack Obama, the anti-Semite himself, part of the Islamic Brotherhood, who refers to the Jews as the satanic Jews. So who's the real anti-Semites? Was it people on the right who supports Israel? Or is it the person that... Yeah, exactly. And you wonder why our country is so divided. This is the main reason why. But you know what's cool? Since the left, the media says, oh, there's no such thing as left-wing terrorists. Really sure? John Hopkins is a Bernie supporter, socialist, extremist socialist, communist, and he took a gun, went to a baseball field that was a charity baseball event that they had Republicans versus Democrats, basically local politicians, and shot up the baseball field and shot the Republicans. And targeted the Republicans and almost killed one of them. The BLM killer, Michael Johnson, who shot and killed 5, he's ex-military, 5 law enforcement officers, and 3 of them were black law enforcement officers. And the media wants to sit there and say that Trump's inspiring the violence. Really? Really? So all these leftist protesters are calling for dead cops, cook them like bacon, fry them like pigs. So who's calling these actions of violence? I know, the right will blame Barack Obama, but it was really the organizers of BLM who caused this mayhem and destruction. That's the truth. Because they were encouraging violence. Guess who else who encouraged violence as well? Antifa. They say go out there, if people disagree with you or they wear MAGA hats or they're Democrats, regardless if they're Republicans, Democrats, liberals, doesn't matter who they are, just call them Nazis and punch them in the face because we want total anarchy. And they encourage this. They encourage violence. They encourage hatred. And they literally are racist also. They call black law enforcement the N-word. They attack random people. Regardless of what your viewpoints in politics are, you gotta look at it this way. Regardless if you're right or left, Democrat, Republican, Libertarian, doesn't matter. You have a choice in a day. If you're going to do what's right, speak your opinion, use your freedom of speech, say what you want to, and do what you want to, or you're going to be like these idiots here who causes violence, destruction, and division, and have hatred towards each other as human beings. Which is it? I don't blame the left. I don't blame the right. Part of it, yes, is the media. But I blame the person behind the gun. I blame the person behind the violence. I don't blame the leaders of our free world. You know what I blame? I blame the individual person who takes it that seriously, who's willing to resort to violence. That's who I blame. That's who I blame, because you know what? I'm a person. I'm a big person of freedom of speech. But you don't see me going out there with my pistol and shooting up, Antifa left and right. No, I'm not. But you know what? It's behind the person. Regardless of your viewpoints, evil is evil. And when you cross that line of terrorism, then you are basically hurting your own cause. You're causing more division. You're causing more issues the world around you. And sometimes you gotta look inside yourself and see what's wrong with you. You gotta look in the mirror. Before you can judge anybody else, you gotta see what is wrong with your personal life. Before you help anybody else, you gotta help yourself first. That's the facts. And that's wisdom there. But I'll talk to you guys later, and you know what? Who's else coming to the show is Jinx, the Roz Williams of Political Talk and Philosophy, and he's here to join with us. Hey, and I hope you guys enjoy this new program, InfoHell.